Hello everyone and welcome back. It's me, TrophyWife, and today we're playing Slay the Princess again. Last we left off, we kind of merged everything and then split everything, and so now we're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna try to slay the princess this round and see what happens, and then we'll just keep going and going. So let's get started.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, let's see. Let's do sweet. I've always wanted to off the monarch. Viva la revolution.
That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
I mean, you could choke her out. Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Let's just continue
Good.
down the stairs.
You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Let's still our nerves and just step forward.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Okay. Let's just slay the princess.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face.
So did I kill her without any problems?
But is it over? really over.
Well, no, I doubt that. Of course it is. She's dead. I'm not sure. I feel like she has some kind of trick up her sleeve.
It's over. You could check her sleeves if you want, but I can assure you that there's nothing hidden up there. We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
We can remove the blade, check the pulse. You're right, she's dead. Let's just get out of here. I'm gonna remove the blade.
You lean down and wrap your hand around the blade's hilt. But as you begin to slide it out of its resting place, you feel a sharp and sudden jab in your side.
Oh, she went dead.
What was that?
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Oh boy. So we got ourselves killed.
Quick, let's get out of here. It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs.
Now you told us she was dead. You lied.
As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life. I guess we're even now.
Well, if we'd left it in her chest, I feel like she would have just stabbed us with it anyway.
See you around.
You were so close. Why did you hesitate? It doesn't matter. At least you managed to take her with you, for whatever that's worth. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Okay, so if we do it over again and we actually listen to him and don't check on her, would we live? Chapter 2, The Razor.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
She's going to kill me again.
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself.
Is courageous going to be our other little talkie?
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
This whole thing's a crock
Oh,
of shit.
cheated.
She's just going to pull a knife out of nowhere and stab us again.
Stabbed to death? Well, you won't have to worry about that. The princess is unarmed.
Yeah, that's exactly what you told us last time. You said this whole thing would be easy, but after we sank our blade into her heart, she just got up and started stabbing us.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons, so there's no reason to fear her. You were made for this job. You'll do just fine.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all that's really already happened. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We mostly listened to you. How are we supposed to know she'd spring back to life? If she sprung back to life in this hypothetical scenario, then clearly you didn't slay her. But congratulations, you've been given a chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We stabbed the princess stabbed us, and now everyone's right back to where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
I want to talk
Yes,
to her.
but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left?
Screw this. Who cares what happened to everyone else? She's not going to play fair, so we should do what we can to save ourselves and just get out of here.
At least you know not to trust her, but you do realize that everything and everyone includes you, right? If you turn around and leave, you're dooming yourself as well as everyone else.
We were so close to finishing the job last time. She can't get the jump on us twice. If we're careful, we should be fine.
That's
Okay.
the spirit.
I guess I should listen
Just
to
keep
the
that step up a
narrator the
little. You'll save
whole
the world
time
in
this
no
time.
at all.
Alright, fine. Proceed to the cabin.
A warning. She will lie.
He couldn't be more on the money. But we're really doing this, aren't we? I'd say you're lost, but I'm stuck here with you.
We know what to look out for this time. We know to be careful. Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
Alright, proceed. I think the next go around I'm gonna talk to her and see if that does anything.
The interior of
boy.
the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Well, we know if we look at the mirror, it's not gonna do anything, so let's just take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
It feels a bit better to have a weapon in our hands. Let's make her hurt for what she's done to us.
Okay, enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks
Oh.
open, revealing what must once
Everything
have been
looks sharp.
stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal coming from down below. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favour.
That's right, scraping. I told you she has something, I told you.
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head. Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
There is something so wrong with that voice.
Yeah, she thinks she's better than us, like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
As you descend the final
Oh.
step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room. I wonder if she remembers us.
Finally, somebody. Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
She's got something behind her back.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down.
If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
Let's just try to slay her.
The princess falls silent, her smile unwavering as you charge across the room.
Okay, she hasn't pulled out a knife yet, and her hands are still behind her back. I think we can do this. I think we can win. We just have to strike now, but make sure you keep your eyes on those hands. I don't trust her for a second.
We're gonna get killed.
But your focus is broken by the horrible sound of metal slicing through meat.
Whose meat? Not ours, right?
Hers, at first, then yours.
Hehe.
How? What did she even hit us with?
You stare down at your chest and at the long, thin blade she impaled you with. And then the red, angry slit along the flesh of her thigh,
Oh!
where the blade had been nestled just a moment ago.
Oh gosh!
It's still
that's
lodged in her leg, emerging from her knee, hinging up and out of her body like some extra metallic limb.
That's awful.
Bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
You're going to die now.
With a twist of her knee and a painful squelch, she does just that. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Okay, I think the next round we should just talk to her. Chapter 3, the arms race.
You're on a path in the
Oh.
woods.
No,
What happened
fuck
to the
that.
woods?
If we're going to have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin.
You're What? The interior of the cabin is sharp, a constricting mess of curved and battered sheet metal pushing you towards... Wait, excuse me? What just happened? What did you just do?
I feel dizzy.
Oh ho ho ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting? Who holds the cards now? Nobody. Nobody holds the cards. That's how it's always been. That's unfortunately how reality works. The circle's getting smaller and smaller. Running isn't an option anymore. We have to fight.
Well, we never ran to begin with.
Good. It's better that way.
Oh, we got
Without
stubborn.
a fight, no one can win. And if no one can win, then nothing has any meaning.
Great. So obviously you've already been here. How many times? This is our third?
Well, actually 5th, but yeah.
No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realise that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction, right? That can't be right. That's too much responsibility.
Nah, impossibly high stakes make the fight so much better.
Let's just stay focused, shall we? The only furniture of note is a bent metal table. A pristine blade perched. We take it. Okay, sure, you take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. This feels right. We just have to keep our senses sharp.
We have a voice of the haunted too.
That's right, we've got to be able to win eventually.
We will win eventually. Hell, we might even win now.
That's a fighting spirit I like to see. You could all learn a thing or two from this one. I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down there? You walk through the door. You do know what doors are, right? But there isn't a door, there's just that mirror. There isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like you can't even see reality anymore. I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right. Could be a trick. If our other senses can't feel it, then we can't trust it.
If it's in our way, let's just break it and move on.
Approach the mirror.
Make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Well, it doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open it. Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. I care about getting to the end of this mess.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach
And
forward
it's
and
gone.
place your hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open. And the mirror's gone. How surprising. It was never there. Just an illusion.
Let's just get to the princess already. I didn't care about the mirror before, and I care about it even less now.
Guess it's time for us to see her again. Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
Do we just try to kill her again? And
You
then
step forward.
our next go around
You
we
don't
try to
get
talk
a
to her?
chance to linger on the basement stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic, an unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you skittering to the bottom. Your body tumbles onto the basement floor and the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance. She gives you a wry smile.
Hi, it looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore. But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
She's got another thing coming if she thinks we're going down easy again.
Pride makes us dead. The only thing that matters is survival. Actually, does survival matter? We've died twice and nothing bad has come of it. We just need to find a way to win once. Nothing bad has come of it yet. Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there mattered. The past isn't real. There's only here and now. Your internal bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin blades, glistening with her blood, the empty flesh of her arms flopping at her elbows like torn sleeves.
That is
The chain clatters to the
disgusting.
floor. She's loose, and she is coming for
There's
you.
no way we win against that.
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
Shit. She's coming for us and I'm out of ideas.
Wait, it says she wins by killing us, right? So let's beat her to it. I want to try that.
No, that's a terrible idea. A win's a win.
Screw it, we've already died twice. What's a third?
A third is a third. It's bad.
Who cares?
Fine. You raise your blade above your head.
Oh, this is new. What are you going to do? Are you really going to stab yourself? Neat.
Then you skewer yourself. Ow.
Are we still here? Can we not actually off ourselves? Boo! Huh, that didn't do much of anything. We're tougher than I thought. Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die. Did we die?
Oh, wait, who's the new one? I missed that one.
Nah, we'd know
Oh,
if we died.
contrarian.
Right?
You're on a... No, you're in a... Where the hell are you?
I think we're dead.
Oh, and
That's
broken.
all we'll ever be. Dead, 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 dead.
Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead. This is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here?
This is 4.
No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess advances.
She's gonna get us.
Okay, whatever we do gets us another us. Let's see how many we can stack. There's got to be a point where it makes us better than her.
We don't need any other voices chattering about in here. It'll just confuse us. All we need is to keep fighting.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
As long as we keep moving.
Who cares about getting better than her? Let's do something weird. Like,
We just did something really weird. We tried to kill ourselves and it didn't work.
Come on, show me something new.
Let's flirt with her. It doesn't work and she kills you again and again and again and again, and your memory blurs as your consciousness sleeps from one life to life, holding only snippets of the conflict that transpired.
Compliment her on those gleaming blades. There's nothing better than a capable woman.
She skewers you.
You're cute.
Well, there's more of us. Let's see if that helps.
What's the point? It's all the same.
She skewers you.
Oh, don't give up on me just yet. You gotta keep going.
Do you see that? We almost had her. That was luck. But we only have to get lucky once.
Just panic! Flee!
Oh, we got paranoid.
She skewers you.
No, you don't get to escape. That's not how this works.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes, we can't give up.
Okay, let's go again. She's going to kill this body either way.
Oh,
So
cold.
stop feeling what it feels. She skewers you.
Ooh, not bad. Real tough.
See? We're getting better. Okay, yeah. That was a good one. Let's appeal to her better nature.
Opportunist.
We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason.
She skewers you.
We're getting close to something. Can't you feel it? One last time.
You're right. One last time, that's all we need.
None of this is working. Think.
And skeptic.
She skewers you. And then everything goes dark, and you die.
Oh, naturally assured destruction.
Your Honor, don't lose your head. We're in a cabin and we'll take it from here.
Everything feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different, and different is good. And our steel claw is already in our hand.
Ho-ho! What if we throw it out the window?
Over my dead body.
That won't be very hard. We've died a lot. But I can't say I mind anymore.
Besides, what better way to die so very many times than at the sharp hands
Oh,
of a
smitten.
beautiful woman?
I'm sure I can think of a better way to die. They're all the same, really.
How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want us to accidentally manifest anything.
The
the only thing we're gonna manifest is finally ending up on top. There are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. This is... Yeah, leave it to the pros. We'll notch up that win in no time. Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our star-crossed lover. Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto the basement stairs, only it's more of a slide. We know. Fine, I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along. Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs, or this room, or anything? It feels like I'm hardly a part of this. Don't care, just want to win. Fine, you make your way to the basement, where the princess awaits you.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I like that. I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it?
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to show you. It's worth it though. Just you wait. And not for very long, because I'm going to do it right now.
Oh no.
Are you going to say what she does? Do you want me to talk now? Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing. Really? Okay then.
Here we go. Now.
Uh-oh.
The princess's
Oh
skin
my
twists,
gosh.
splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and tears. And then it erupts. It becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her
Oh my
splattering
gosh.
against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades. A heart beats furiously in its cage of a chest.
Are you ready for what comes next?
Holy shit! She's gorgeous. Absolutely divine. Yes! Behold, the perfect woman. Do you think we can throw her out the window? That looked painful. How is she still alive? Heart's still beating, that's all she needs. This is fake. This is all fake. That's all just made up. She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it? This is all just a sick joke. I hate existing. We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it. All right,
Oh boy, into your
What
mind.
just happened? It's so quiet.
Yeah, it's because I emptied my mind. Him too. Oh, it's just the two of us.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once.
You do not act, and yet though that in action your body moves on its own. The princess strikes as you approach, but as her blow finishes its arc, you're already somewhere else.
You're incredible.
I know. Your weapon clashes again and again, you and her entering a rhythm free of thought and free of self. There is only the dance, the ebb and flow, the shifting of the tides back and forth between you. The deeper you fall into your play, the faster your hearts pound, and the faster the momentum volley between you. An endlessly building crescendo, and then an opening. Your blade strikes free of the volleyation, and hers strikes too. Both strikes are lethal. Neither of you will survive, but neither of you fear what's to come. This is a good ending. Oh wait, I did it? I looped things back around? You do not get to see each other die, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns. Approach the mirror. You do so. Gaze into the mirror. Silence as you reach forward, they're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. You've grown. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You're at the cabin.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
How have you changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
What does it feel like to change?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
You've been kinder to me than anyone else I've met, thank you.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
We could attack or destroy your body. Let's just say I'm ready to go back. Oh wait, how many more vessels do I need to bring?
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you.
Okay. We can go back. I'm ready to go back.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die. I think this time I'm gonna try to not hurt her and see what happens. Chapter 1.
You're on a path. You're here to...
Silently continue to the cabin.
You make your way. A warning. She will...
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the blade is your...
Let's just enter the basement without the blade.
The door... Her voice...
Hello?
is hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the
Let's say I'm here to save you, not a
How
lie.
many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
I'm gonna examine the chains.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
No, you're doing the right thing.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
If there isn't a key, do you have any other ideas?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
How do you mean, cut you out of them?
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance.
If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Is someone else here?
Hey, let me out. Try the door, return to the bottom of the stairs. But we could
You try
the
the door, but it's locked from the outside.
I bet you it was the narrator. I guess return to the bottom.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Yep.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
Awful.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike,
I'm not going to strike her. I'm not doing it.
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
I'm going to save the princess.
Fine. Against your better
Oh.
judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to
Okay,
this place.
but I have a question. Why so high up? Why didn't you bite where your hand was?
You cut into her flesh.
The blade is sharp,
Yeah,
and it
you
takes
could
little
have
effort to crack
kept
through the bone of her arm.
more arm by biting at your hand.
Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit.
She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
No, she didn't.
She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
It's because she's not.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
No.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Watch me.
What are you doing?
I don't want to slay Warner.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart.
But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect.
Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
Well, yeah, I'm not the one trying to do this.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Oh, I feel kind of bad for her.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake.
For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh no.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark.
She's so sad.
And you die.
The damsel. Maybe we can do it better. We're gonna make
You're
her
on
fall
a
for
path.
us.
You're here to slay her.
Proceed to the cabin.
A warning, she will laugh.
If only you knew what you did to us, you villain.
Oh, it's smitten.
Excuse me?
Forget he said anything. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time. He is trying to keep us apart, but he won't be able to withstand the power of our love.
Last time? What are you talking about?
I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to ignore him. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My
do.
passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
If we take the blade, maybe we can get out. Let's take the blade,
You
but I'm not
take
going
the
to do
blade
it
from the
to
table.
hurt her.
It will be difficult.
I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we need an equally dashing sword. That way she'll know we can defend her from her enemies.
Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge. There's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job.
Enter the basement. We've already talked about the mirror before. We don't need to do it again.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love.
Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a bit much, don't you think? We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
No, I'm gonna make her love me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. You've been here before, haven't you? That's right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to
Yeah,
oblivion.
but it really was your fault.
I really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world, but everything reset. Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever, especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible. Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is. Now, hold on, if she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
Yes.
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
I'm thinking, do I have to cut you out again? I really don't care for that last time. I'm sorry about what happened last time. The narrator who sent me here tried to kill me and took over my body. It was extremely unfair.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
Let's rescue the princess. Oh wait, do I have to cut you out again? I really didn't care for that last time.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
Ugh.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
I'm not gonna slay her. We're gonna rescue the princess.
I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? Yes. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
You wouldn't.
I would.
I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
He's so smitten.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and everyone out there is saved. Is that a threat? You know what we'll do if you try it. You're going to regret this.
What do we do now?
What do you want to do? We leave and then have our whole lives to figure out what we want to do next. What do you want to do?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
If you want to leave, then let's leave.
That sounds perfect.
As the princess takes your hand in hers, you let your blade tumble uselessly to the floor, and with it tumbles the last hope for the entire world. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made, and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs, hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move.
Oh, I think the narrator did it.
Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Do you think we can open it? I think we can open it if we try together. I think I've got this. I think we can open it if we try together.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech. And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs. Her freedom and the world's ruin are just a few moments away. If you don't mind, I'm going to fix myself a drink before you ruin everything. If I'm about to see the end of the world, I'd rather not see it sober.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside. Our happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
Oh no.
Where did everything go? Where did he go?
Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
Oh, we have feathers? Oh, no. She became one with the thing. But you don't get the chance to make that jacket, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
It's going to be okay. Just trust me, we've been here before, and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right?
I'll see you on the other side. It's going to be okay.
If you say so. We'll trust you.
She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
Approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. Oh, I look awful. Am I a bird person? You've withered. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You're at the cabin.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
You can't be a contradiction. How can you stand to be a contradiction? What do you think of this vessel?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
But I loved her. What do you want me to bring you next time?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and tells me new secrets.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
We will know when we near our destination.
Do you know what happens to the worlds we
My
leave behind?
perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
Okay, so I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here.
Okay, let's just walk up.
You make your way. A warning. She will... The interior blade is...
We'll take the blade and enter the basement. I want to try to talk to her this time.
The door to her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it fool you. It's all good. You're still listening to reason.
I don't want to
You
kill
walk
her.
down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
I'm just here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
Okay.
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
I'm here because you're supposed to end the world.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
I think the narrator's the bad guy.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Neither is the narrator's.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
I want to know what her name is.
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Okay, we've talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to set you free.
You know why you're here.
Oh wait, we can choose to slay or examine the chains or keep her locked away. I can say I'm gonna keep you locked down here at least for a bit. We can get to know each other better while I decide what to do. Let's try that.
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
Okay, fine. Let's try to get her out.
Oh, for the love of...
Good. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
So it's when this kind of text, it means she's like on our side, and it's the deep red text. It's like she's against us.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Okay, and if this isn't a key, do you have any ideas besides me cutting you out of here?
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but there is someone else here.
Hey, let me out of here.
Shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't.
Return to the bottom.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save the princess.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain.
I just don't get why we do it above.
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, she didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you. Her fierce... How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you. Stop it! Stop resisting! The blade. Move the...
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
Maybe this one will actually know how to, like, murder us without having to stab us 20 times.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
I wonder which one we're gonna have. The prisoner.
You're on a path. You're here to... My tricks?
Don't forget what he did to us the last time
skeptic.
around. I wouldn't. I'm inclined to...
You know I can hear you, and as far as...
Let's just proceed to the cabin.
Oh, she will lie?
Yes.
Did you just say wink out loud?
No, I didn't. Wink.
Just ignore this clown and focus on the prince. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
We can take the blade or we can enter the basement. Let's just
I'm
enter
afraid
the
I'm
basement.
going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation and I'm not letting us go down there without a weapon.
Are you sure? What if she... I don't know... turns it against us? Which I'm bringing up in a purely hypothetical manner.
Yes, I'm sure.
Turns it against you? She's a prisoner here. She'll only be able to turn it against you if you give it to her. Which you won't be doing because she's an existential threat to the entire world. Okay. I'm trusting you.
Okay, fine, we'll take the blade.
You take the blade from the table.
Thanks. I mean it.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering per voice, harsh but controlled, carry...
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us? You walk down
Whoa.
the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap.
She's got so many chains this time.
Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously
we
useless.
can chain ourselves up too.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
I'm gonna sit with her.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Sit where you were told to sit.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
I've been here before. I'm not the only one who remembers that.
Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
First you make a comment about having been here before, and now this. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things.
It's complicated things how, exactly?
Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency.
A contingency for what?
For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse.
If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably.
I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even.
I still want to be your friend.
And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative.
That's pathetic.
I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright?
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
I won't.
So the narrator's known what's kind of been going on the whole time.
Fine, but you won't get another word from me on the matter.
Yeah, sure. We'll see about that.
Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
What happened after I died last time?
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
What would you have me do?
Let me borrow that knife. Don't worry, you'll get it back.
That's ominous.
But she seems confident. Whatever it is she has planned, I think she knows what she's doing.
Oh please, she's just putting on an act to disarm you. That much should be obvious. In case you need to hear a voice of reason, it would obviously be unwise to give away your only weapon.
I want to give it to her, though. She's
So if
stuck
she
against
isn't
the wall.
bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you.
Well, what does it matter? I'll just come back.
That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
Let's just give her the weapon. It says cut her out on your own, but then that would mean we'd have to cut her neck. So give her the knife.
Slide it over.
No, absolutely not. I am not letting you hand your only weapon over to the world-ending princess. Until you come up with any other idea, like, say, I don't know, doing your job and slaying her, you remain rigidly in place.
You tried this last time. Do you want to know how it went for you?
Oh, I remember. She killed us, which, by your estimation, ended the world, right? I've already tried to take over, buddy.
Exactly. If I were you, I wouldn't be too keen on repeating your mistake. Hell, we could even force your hand and do it ourselves. I'm not afraid of dying again. Are you?
Well, the narrator obviously is the only one that really dies. So it ends his world, if that's where this is
A
going.
little. I think you got your point across. Fine. You slide the blade across the floor. The princess maintains unsettling eye contact as she reaches down to pick it up.
Thanks.
She pulls up her head, smiling slightly, as she raises the blade to her throat. What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck.
Oh my god.
No.
Watch in uneasy silence.
Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, her smile unwavering as she soars through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her
Oh,
neck.
what an awful thing to do.
I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that?
Huh. So that's her play.
Killing herself?
She isn't dead yet.
Finally, you hear a snap.
Oh,
Her eye twitches.
that's horrible.
There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to
Oh,
her
why is
shoulder,
that? Oh, that's so awful.
and her neck opens. The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back.
Oh, that's horrible.
The princess's eyes stare up at you, dead.
Congratulations, you saved the world.
Are you sure she's not winking at us?
Obviously not, she is thoroughly deceased.
I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please?
Who's going to be the voice we get from this?
Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
We should take her with us, don't you think?
What? No, you shouldn't do that. Why would you do that?
I can think of lots of reasons. A trophy, proof of our victory. Hell, we could even give her a proper burial. She did save the world, right?
You don't need proof, you don't need a trophy, and she doesn't deserve a burial. Just leave.
Even after all that, you're still not satisfied, are you? Something is still motivating you to keep things the way you want them.
I'm just eager to put this all behind us and give you your reward. Stop reading into things, the danger has passed. You can relax.
I'm just keeping myself sharp. I'm not so eager to put my guard down.
I am. I'm on team, let's put this all behind us, so can we leave already?
I feel like she'll kill us somehow if we take the princess. But I kind of want to know what happens if we leave the basement.
Fine. But if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it.
I was going to say that's how we die.
With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here.
The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty. The door. Check the door.
Open the door and accept your reward. We're back in
You
the
open
nowhere.
the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere
Yeah, I'm
minutes
thinking
ago,
the narrator's bad.
the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows.
But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward? This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it.
I don't want it.
Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
Like hell it is.
That's bullshit. Let us out of
What's
here.
done is done, and there's no going back now. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days, or months, or years, or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've
Yeah.
never been happier.
So the narrator's bad.
Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win.
I guess we can slay ourselves.
You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose?
Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want?
I don't have to answer that.
That's all we needed to hear.
You raise the blade, then drive it into your heart. You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right?
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Chapter 3, The Grey.
You're on a path in the woods. See, that wasn't so bad. And now we've got another chance to get to the bottom of things. Bit by bit, we're starting to unravel this place.
This isn't the woods.
There are so many more threads to pull once
cool.
you stop feeling. That's a little dark, buddy. You feeling okay? I'm feeling nothing. And I like that just fine. He's not wrong. Sentimentality won't help us here. We need scientific rigor. So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? It's our third. What gave it away? Your open discussions. You came around on that awful fast. Have you just been pretending to forget every time? I'm afraid not. Whatever other versions of me you've met in those other lifetimes were just that. Other versions of me. I just wish so you knew how all this worked. Why didn't you ever tell us? We could have used... That's because there is no using it to your advantage. The more you say that, but we didn't have to do anything last time. She slew herself. It was nauseating. Yes. She cut off her head.
I'm so confused.
And now she's dead. And I doubt she'll be able to do much of anything from the grave.
She cut off her head? Her head? Without you doing anything?
Yes.
Then why, pray tell, are you here? Oh, I know that one. We killed ourselves. Why?
Because you thought trying to stuff us away in a corner for eternity was a suitable reward.
Was it not? What better reward is there than eternal bliss? You should have been happy.
We weren't. We were bored.
You were bored. I was just unhappy.
There were still answers that we needed to find.
It was actually working. And you killed yourself. I can't believe it. You ruined everything.
How does us dying ruin everything? What aren't you telling
Yeah,
us?
I want to know. Tell me.
It just does. And I'm not telling you lots of things, but it's for your own good. It's for the good of everyone.
Everyone seems to be just the three of
It
us.
seems to me like keeping secrets didn't help you last time, so you should start talking.
Fine, the world doesn't stay saved if you die.
And if the world isn't saved, then that means she is dead. Oh, now isn't that interesting? I assumed she'd just be a pile of old bones. But perhaps she's not. There's only one way to find out. We should go see her. Let's try something different this time. We've already seen what happens when we slay her, and I'm not convinced that's a way out for us. I'm not even convinced there is a world to save.
It's raining. It wasn't raining last time or the time before that. The whole path is different. I want to say that.
Yes, things are different, aren't they?
If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time.
Her influence? What's that supposed to mean?
It means exactly what I said. Don't overthink it, or you...
And what is that?
Forget I said anything. I've probably already made things work.
So we've
Come
heard this
on,
before.
tell us your secrets. Haven't we been through enough? Don't we deserve to know?
No.
Is there a reason it would be raining?
If there is, it doesn't matter. If a bit of rain is the best her influence can conjure, then we have nothing to worry about. A drenched corpse is still a corpse.
Well, it says, what happens if we don't go to the cabin? But I think we've tried that before.
She'll find a way out eventually and the world will still end.
We already know he wants us to slay her. Anything he says is tainted by his motivations.
Turn around and leave, go to the cabin. I'm fine with either. So long.
Let's just proceed to the cabin. I want to see. It says, what happens next? It seems like our answers are at the cabin. We might as well see them through.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay.
What we do is entirely up to us.
And we have all those mysteries to unravel. Isn't that right?
You aren't here to solve a mystery. You're here to save the world. That's what you say. But how can we be sure?
We can't be sure of anything except what's right in front of us.
Okay, but we should care about the fate of the world.
Why?
Because we should. I don't know. It's important.
Is it?
Yes. I think.
Don't let them make you second-guess yourself. The fate of the world is the most important thing there is.
For all we know, the world you're talking about isn't even real.
Of course it's real. Where do you think you are? Somewhere else?
Maybe we are.
This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await. As soon as you enter the cabin, you're struck by an overwhelming scent of decay, of mold and death and stagnant water. The once stately wooden building is bloated, its beams dripping with a black ooze of putrefaction, all but the exterior stone walls warped beyond recognition. It must have been beautiful once, but in its ruin, it is beyond repulsive.
So is her killing herself, it changed things a lot.
But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the rotting wood of the wall.
Is that her? It's like she isn't even there.
See? We killed her.
You're right. Maybe she doesn't reset like us. She certainly doesn't look the same as she did last time.
Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room.
The door at the end of the room? But there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it.
The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. That's strange. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Maybe it's gone because she already killed herself with it. But we had it with us when we died. And besides, everything else has reset. Why wouldn't the blade have reset too?
Because she used it on herself.
Maybe it's because we've already explored that avenue. We've seen what happens when we slay her. Maybe this place has decided we don't need to try that again.
I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement?
But the thing is, we didn't slay her. She slayed herself. Okay, fine. We'll approach the mirror.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier. The one is so hazy. We should try and clean it off. You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right.
Yeah, we can see it now.
So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things.
No way left to go but down.
The door to the basement
there she is.
groans open. The air is foul and wet, so thick that you can almost feel it settle onto your skin in layers of grime. The stairs are coated with slimy algae, the wood rotted through in places, reeking of fetid vegetation. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadows, legs submerged up to her shins in dark waters. There she is again. Barely. She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
I could say I'm sorry about last time. Are we good? Let's just proceed down.
As you descend the final
Oh.
step, the form of the princess comes into view. A bloated body floating face down in slowly rising waters, her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom.
What a horrible way to die.
See? She's dead. She's not just dead. It looks like she's been rotting. So killing her does stick. Mostly. But if she's dead, then what are we supposed to do? She isn't dead. You clearly just believe she is. Her corpse is floating right in front of us. You can stop it with the mind games. If she's dead, then do we even have to do anything? How can she be a threat to the world like this? Thoughts are cut short by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even. Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying, or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems off the table. Yeah, this is tricky. But let's talk to her. See what kind of information she has that we don't. But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
Well, the thing is, I didn't send her here like this. She sent herself.
Bold of you to come back here after what you did.
I didn't do anything.
You were supposed to take me with you. Didn't I ask you for help?
Oh,
This
wait.
isn't help.
Should I have carried her body? Yeah, I didn't even kill you. You killed yourself.
But she doesn't answer your question. All
Oh,
she
the
does
water's
is
rising.
watch you in shadowed silence. Do you hear that trickling sound? The water's rising, isn't it? It is, and it's rising fast. Well, that's interesting. We've never drowned before. I wonder how it'll feel.
So I guess I should have carried her body.
Bad, I bet. I don't think dying ever feels good. Yes, how astute. Dying is bad and you should avoid it. How about you stop trying to talk to her and do something instead?
Let's see. I'm begging you. I'll do anything. Just don't let me drown.
Pathetic.
The water is rising faster now. It's flowing in from some unseen place, and judging by the height of the algae on the stairs, it has no intention of stopping anytime soon. You feel it creeping up your back, so cold that it steals the very warmth from your flesh, leaving a smothering numbness in its place. Are you really just going to stand there and let yourself die? Yeah, let's think. Where is it coming from? It's coming from some unseen place. Does it really matter where it's coming from? Because I can feel it rising. I don't think we have much time to sleuth. Yes, it matters. Maybe we can find a way out. Maybe we can figure out a way to make this work. This is just a puzzle. We can solve it. Some things aren't puzzles to be solved. Sometimes you're doomed from the start. Most people are doomed. But in case you need reminding, everyone will be doomed forever unless you stop her.
Well, if we rush for the blade, she's dead. It won't matter. Is this about last time? I'm sorry now. Can you let me out?
If this is how you're choosing to spend your last breaths, I won't stop you. But it won't make any difference.
The water is up to your chin. You lose your footing, bobbing helplessly in the putrid flood pool. And suddenly, the door to the basement is thrown from its hinges as one last massive wave of water comes crashing down, sweeping you up in a powerful current. You're bashed against the stone wall. You come to a moment later, suspended in darkness, disorientated, only aware of the surface of the water and the emptiness above. And of course, the princess, hovering above you, watching in silence as you struggle to stay afloat in the icy depths. There's no way out.
It's so dark and cold, I think our limbs are slowing down. How much longer can we do this?
Just keep breathing, we'll figure this out. Or we won't. It doesn't matter either way. But you don't have time to figure anything out. Something cold and clammy wraps around your ankle. You're dragged under, only able to take one last hopeful gulp of air before your head is plunged into the freezing depths. As you sink below the surface, you see it.
Oh.
Or rather, you see her. The body you found floating when you first arrived, its hand is locked around your ankle, the heavy chains pulling you both down into the unfeeling, suffocating nothingness.
Just get it away from us, please.
The past is the past. There's no changing it.
So if
There's
she
nothing to fix.
killed herself and I brought her with
There's
us,
not
would
a
it
lot we can do about the
change?
present either. Not unless we think, like we should have been doing all along. But there is no thinking as you drown. You desperately try to pull yourself back to the surface again, and again, and again. Your icy limbs flailing desperately against the grip of her rotting corpse. And all the while her ghastly figure stares down at you, expressionless, as unfeeling as the weight around your ankle.
Your lungs filled with water, the same way mine filled with blood. In the end, we're not so different.
Oh, well, okay. But your lungs don't feel, nor will they ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Let's just go ahead and approach the mirror. We've already said those to him. You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always takes them. You've unraveled. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You're at the cabin.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
Do you think there are people out there?
It doesn't matter if there are. People are too small for us. You and I are the only things that interest me.
Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is guarded sorrow. She saw herself as alone, but in the end had the courage to share with another. She will make for a deep heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally been heard.
When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator. And he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Does the vessel have one?
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
He does. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact.
I am on the cusp of my awakening. Perhaps you are on the cusp of yours.
Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken?
If I did, I would already be awake.
I will eventually do these, but probably not this playthrough. I've gotten so far, and I just want to keep seeing what happens, so I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are.
Well, I look like a monster.
I will be here, waiting for you.
I die again. Alright, guys, I'm going to end this video here.
You're here to slay her. If you don't...
We've done this before, so I'm going to end it here. We'll start again. We'll see where it takes us, and then we can do it again and see what happens if we end ourselves and end the princess in that area. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!